stuff left over from last year. I haven't reset it. Hello, welcome to Geraldine's Super Secret Author Vlog. And I was just doing a little video today, a little bit of a Kanban update and why it was a fail for me recently, and also a new idea, not to replace a Kanban, but just to help me with productivity. I think you will like it. So I first tried Kanban Board last year and it was really great, and I did sort of the 90-day method with it, although I think I went through like 2 90-day quarters. I never got through all the things, but I got a lot done. But then I made a basic change. So I used to have it on, sorry about my projects everywhere, I used to have it right there, where it was in my face every time I walked into my office. And then I decided to organize all my yarn so that my yarn would be in my face to remind me to work on those projects. I have more yarn than I know what to do with. And so then I moved it back there, and as you can see, it is behind me at my desk. And the fail is the fact that once I moved it there, it was basically no longer in my line of sight. I wouldn't even notice it when I came into my office. I just come in and turn around and sit down at my desk, and it just basically was not in my face. And with me, if it's not in my face, it's like out of sight, out of mind, and I just kind of forgot all about it and left off working on it. And it's yeah, it was a fail, the fact that I moved it back there where I don't ever see it, and I don't ever look back there, and I don't usually walk back there. And so I ended up not doing it because it just wasn't in my face, reminding me every day that all these things I wanted to do. And so I like having my yarn organized over there, but I don't actually need my yarn in my face to remind me to work on it. I'm always knitting something interesting. So that didn't turn out so well, but I really like how my yarn is organized over there by color and everything. So I have to come up with another solution. The other thing that I did discover last year is bullet journaling. And when I first saw it, I was like, oh, that's just a notebook method. I didn't realize that it's actually a whole mindfulness practice. And once later I came across it again and I learned more about it and realized it's a mindfulness practice, and the whole purpose of it is to get away from screens and actually write stuff by hand to get that mind-brain connection. I just grabbed whatever I had, which I happened to be this medieval journal, and it kind of became my bullet journal for a while. Did some quotes. I didn't really do a lot of art. This was more meant just to be practical. Let's see, what about projects? Fan build ideas. A quote that I really liked about, it says, "A solid routine fosters a well-worn groove for one's mental energies and helps stave off the tyranny of moods." I really like that one. And then also working on my novels and pitching to agents. That was kind of fun. So it's pretty basic, you know. And I just used that for a while to get me through the end of the year. But then I actually bought a real bullet journal to use for this year, and I'm still learning to use it on a regular basis. Like, I don't know how much I'll get in the habit of using it, because I'm not really good at checking it all the time. But the whole thing about the bullet journal is that it's a mindfulness practice. So it's not just a notebook to organize your life, but it's actually a time to sit down and make any kind of chart or log you need to help you reach your goals. It's sort of like what the Kanban board does. So the thing I like about the bullet journal method, not only the fact that it's the mindful practice and that you write stuff by hand, but I like that it's portable. It's small enough to fit in a purse. You can take it with you everywhere you go. But I also like the Kanban board method as well. But like if I go away to work somewhere else for a while, I can't take that thing with me. So I'm still trying to figure all this out. I know there are a couple methods that people have used a Kanban method in the bullet journal. So I'm researching those ideas and see if there is a way to do the whole Kanban board, but small in the bullet journal, or if that's even necessary. You know, do I really need to take a Kanban board with me? Can I, maybe should I just use that one in addition to my bullet journal? But I kind of like the idea of everything being in my journal, and I can have it with me anywhere. And so I could just, you know, if I'm waiting in line somewhere, I can open it up and like check things. You know, I like that idea. I'm still incorporating it into my life. But anyway, so I'm just new on the bullet journal journey as well as new on the Kanban board method. I love them both. They're both really, really interesting. Comment below if you've figured out a way to do a Kanban type chart in your bullet journal, because that idea appeals to me the most, actually. And I really like the idea of having sticky notes and moving them along. So I don't know, I'm still figuring that out. But I did get inspired to do something new. So check this out. Another thing I thought of was moving the Kanban board to there. But then I don't have this beautiful, pretty picture at my desk that I can look at. And then I also thought of the idea of turning this pretty picture into a Kanban board by using the top sky section as the to-do, place sticky notes on the houses when I'm working on them, and then down at the bottom in the grass when I'm done. Or the idea of covering it with the sticky notes, and then when I get something done, removing it so it reveals the picture over time, and that would motivate me to get through them all and reveal the picture. So I got some creative ideas that I could do, but this is what I wanted to show you. I'm organizing my schedule, and I just kind of made this the other day, sort of just made it up from an idea. I took an old calendar that had some original art, and I cut it, and there's a pocket right here. So this was a file folder that I cut for cardstock, and then cut and glued this beautiful original art from this calendar that I had. And so the idea is I have my daily schedule. When I get to the end of the day, I usually have this, like, the sun is setting, just for fun. And then in the morning I start there. So the sun rays are shining on each section of my day. And then I just put these little times. My schedule is not set in stone. It kind of changes day by day. It depends if I have errands and things like that, or appointments. You know, I'm the one that has to take the cat to the vet and things like that. So I basically put these ideal start times underneath, but knowing that I might not actually match those. Like sometimes I'm awake at 2 in the morning for a while, so then I don't get up on time. Ideally, I'd get up at 5:30 in the morning, start my morning routine at 6, and this is stretching and yoga and quiet time. Get to my desk and do my daily journaling, my bullet journal, and my, submit proposals on Upwork. The third part of my day is my first work session of the day, where I do my main work, and I'd like to start by 9, but sometimes I don't start till 10. And then I take a lunch break with the idea to either clean, walk, or rest for a little bit, and then come back to work session number 2, which could start between 1:30 and 2 o'clock. Work for a couple hours. This is the only thing that's really set. My husband and I exercise together at the house here every day at 4 o'clock, so the work session 2 ends at 4 o'clock, and then I need to either do some sort of workout or go on a walk or move my body in some way. And then the last one I have 5:30 to cook supper, and then do work session 3 in the evening before stopping to watch TV. So it's just kind of fun. I'm one of those kids that likes stickers and stars, so I can move this along throughout the day, even if the times aren't exactly the same as that. And right now I'm supposed to be exercising, so I got to get going on that. And I'm a person who, for whatever reason, I haven't been able to figure it out, but I have fluctuations in energy. So some days I have super high energy, and some days I have super low energy, and it's not really related to how much sleep I get. So on the days when I have super low energy, I really struggle. So I made this little quote. I figured out a plan for what to do on my days when my energy is really low and I'm really struggling. And so the first thing I do is to power through as best I can, but recognize when my mind is not up to the task, because I have made mistakes before of working on a project when my mind was not up to the task because I was so tired, my brain was just too dead. And then it is better not to try to do a task that requires a lot of creative energy or brain work. So I try to power through if I can, but if I recognize that my work is just not up to snuff, then I move to number 2, focus on the easier tasks or run errands, because I can run errands when I'm tired. It moves my body. Or number 3, either work at a coffee shop or go pick up a coffee to go. So sometimes that helps. Number 4, walk outside and or take a nap. That's if it's really bad and nothing else is really working. It helps to walk outside to wake up. Or take a nap if I really need it. Or number 5, when all else fails, take the day off, which I can do most days because I set my own schedule, but not every day. Some days you just can't take the day off. But if I can and everything else has failed, I'll take the day off, or I'll take the rest of the day off if I get what needs to get done in the morning. So I have these 2 things on the wall here to help me. This is Felix, my lucky gnome. I knit mushrooms, so you see mushrooms everywhere, and I'm a Hufflepuff, so I've got my badger. So yeah, this is kind of fun. It's right in my face, like directly in front of me. And when I have my laptop up, I can still see all those things. When my energy is super low and my brain's not functioning 100%, I can check this for reference and follow it. Recently, I had a low energy day, and I actually ended up going through all 5 things throughout the day. And then I'm trying this out, and so far it's been a lot of fun. If I'm running errands all day, of course, I'm not in here doing that, but I value the most the days where I'm at home all day and don't have to go anywhere and can actually follow this schedule. Gives me 3 work sessions. I'm trying to become more disciplined and not spend so much time on TV, and to not get on the TV till 7:30 or 8 o'clock at night. And I'm working towards getting off all screens around 9 o'clock generally. I try to get off by 9. So these are my various tactile methods to kind of organize my life and have higher productivity. I'm going through a strange transition period as a writer right now because I love doing the freelance writing and editing on Upwork, but I'm finding that no matter how hard I hustle, the work just sort of ebbs and flows. Even when I get on long-term projects with clients, they will take a break for a month or 2 or 3. And so even though I'm trying to have regular steady work every day and regular steady increasing income, I find that I struggle with getting enough work and enough income. And I'll have times when I have a whole lot of work and plenty of income, and then all of a sudden things will, the clients will drop off the face of the planet or won't have anything for me to do for a while, and then suddenly I have no work to do and no income at all, or very little sometimes. And so it's frustrating, and I'm trying to help put my son through college. So I've been looking whenever my freelance work and income totally drops off and I have practically no income coming in. That's when I get frustrated and I want consistent paycheck, and I start looking at jobs, and I'm looking at both part-time jobs, but especially at full-time jobs so I can actually put my son through college. I also would like to get all my old business debts paid off as quick as possible and help us pay off all of our debts. And then also save up for a van build that I'd like to do at some point, and also pay for international travel that we're just starting to do. And my husband, it doesn't really fit in our regular budget. It's a stretch, so I need to be able to pay for that somehow. So anyway, I'm at a weird place where I'm trying to get new clients and projects, but at the same time applying for jobs. And if I'm going to start a full-time job, then I got to be careful not to have too many projects going on. I mean, it's just tricky. It's a transitional phase, and I actually almost got a really cool full-time job as a technical editor. It would have been so neat. I almost got it, but I didn't have secret clearance and not a lot of technical writing experience, and so they ended up going with someone who has secret clearance, but that would have been so amazing. And I just have to remind myself, I believe that things happen for a reason, and that we do have a creator who's helping to guide our path, and if that didn't happen, then there's a reason that I was not supposed to do that job right now. So that would have been really good pay though, and really incredible. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if I'm gonna find a part-time job that pays really well or a full-time job. My goal is to net between $2,000 to $4,000 a month, hopefully at least 2 to 3. I'd really like to get at least 3,000 a month. So we will see what happens with that. But in the meantime, I'm continuing to do all my freelance work, and my agent in England is getting ready to pitch my novel. There's some delays right now with all the COVID stuff. He said the publishers are pretty much shut down and they're way backlogged and not taking on new things. So he's being very, very careful about timing and when to actually start pitching. So that's really good. He has a lot of experience in the industry, so I trust him on that. But in the meantime, I'm starting to work on the second book in my series, and part of my setting up my schedule the way I did is so that I can get better at spending time on my own writing every day, because that tends to fall through the cracks because I'm working so hard to try to make money to pay my bills. And so I'm constantly trying to find clients or applying for jobs and then doing that work, and then my own writing ends up not getting done. So the goal with the 3 work sessions in the day is to have at least one of those sessions go to doing my own writing. And I am finding that sometimes in the evening I'm really pretty tired by the end of the day, so because sometimes we wake up between 3, 4, or 5 in the morning. So if I'm too tired at the end of the day, my project during that work session might just be knitting or something like that, something easy, But anyway, we'll see how this goes. I'm trying it out, and I'd love to hear your experience with both the Kanban board and bullet journaling, and the two combined together, or if one can go in the other, and what you think about these productivity tips for those of us who work from home. So I hope you have a good day or night, and a good February of 2022.